Lelouch v. Britannia commands you. Obey me, subjects! Obey me, world!
Oh, Code Geass is back, apparently, and no one told me about it. I guess no one really knew, or maybe I just haven't kept up with the news, even though Code Geass is my #1 thing of all time. I got a C2 tattoo right here. I really love this series with all my heart. It's like my favorite anime of all time, so the fact that we're getting this anime back is really good. Now, I know some of you guys have questions like, okay, this is not canon. Why do they have this? First off, let me solve that. This is part of the movie continuity canon, which takes place a few years after Lelouch of the Resurrection, which is a film that came out several years ago, which follows the Code Geass timeline, which they change a lot of things from the original anime. So if you don't want to watch this because it's going to ruin your perception on the anime, feel free to do so. Feel free not to watch it because it doesn't really touch upon that. It touches upon the movie continuity as to why they're making it still. Why? Because Code Geass makes a ton of money. Pretty much at the end of the day, like, if something makes money, they're going to milk it. Just like Star Wars, like, they're going to milk the hell out of it till people stop watching it, and at the end of the day, people are gonna watch it regardless, like suckers like me who are gonna watch it. But I gotta say, for a brand new anime that's like has the big challenge of doing a series without the main protagonist Lelouch, it's actually off to a great start, I'm gonna be honest, which took me by surprise, because I wasn't really expecting it to be as good as it actually was. I wasn't expecting it for me to get super invested into it, but here I am talking about it, making a video about it. But yeah, essentially what kicks off the premise of the show is, like, at the beginning of the show, we have these two girls who literally just get blown away off a cliffside off the mountain by like some soldiers, and right off the bat you know, oh okay, yeah, this is Code Geass, where they commit war crimes on the daily as much as Anakin and the 501st did during the Clone Wars, you know, just regular war crime type of stuff. Okay, so essentially the story kicks off and it states that after the Zero Requiem plan, where the Holy Britannian Empire essentially collapsed and joined the Federation of Nations, there were fractures within the empire. Like, the empire kind of collapsed, similar to how the USSR collapsed and multiple countries came out of it. Pretty much every empire throughout history doesn't really collapse into like multiple countries or multiple fragments. There's always going to be like some type of resistance. There's always going to be some type of faction that's going to claim themselves to be the heir of the empire, similar to how the Byzantine Empire, like after the Roman Empire collapsed, they self-claimed themselves to be the righteous heir to the Roman Empire. I mean the Holy Byzantine Empire. I don't know, I'm getting my history mixed up, but any you history majors want to correct me, feel free to do so. But yeah, all empires fall, but when they do, there's always going to be someone that claims them. Just like if America were to fall today, one of the states, either Texas, California, New York, would claim themselves as the true United States, to simplify it. But yeah, I really like how it explains that after the Britannian Empire collapsed, we got the Neo-Britannian Empire, which proceeded to invade Japan yet again. Why? I guess because Japan is pretty strategic and it's a pretty easy place to conquer compared to some of the other nations in the world, because it's like an island nation. They proceeded to conquer Hokkaido, which is one of the upper regions of Japan, also known as Northern Area 11. I don't know why they're so obsessed with calling them 11s. I guess because, you know, they're fascist or whatever the case is. And off the bat, like, these soldiers, they're just like brutalizing, they're just like on a rampage, they're just murdering civilians for like shits and giggles. And like right off the bat, you're like, oh, okay, so I guess more war crimes, stuff like that. Except they're just doing it so casually and telling people, yeah, we're just taking care of the 11 terrorists. But it's like, oh, okay. And then we get the introduction of these two brothers, the nameless mercenaries, which we don't really know too much about them. All we know is that there's a character named Ash, and then there's another one who we don't have the name of quite yet. But I love their dynamic, how they're kind of mysterious, how they have like this mysterious aura behind them. They just do things to help the Japanese people, to help the 11s, to get their territory back from the Neo-Britannians, these people who want to rebuild the Holy Britannian Empire, to bring it back to its rightful glory to bring it back to the world stage pre-Federation of Nations, pre-Lelouch. They want to bring everything back to the way it was, where they are at the very top, where they dominate just about everyone else. I really love how the resistance here in Hokkaido, they built like this bridge wall that would essentially block off any Britannian forces in the past, but what was once considered to be a tool is now being used as a weapon against them, because with this shield activated, there's no going in or out of Hokkaido, so they're stuck. There's a resistance unit of Japanese there, but they cannot get help from the outside world. They can't get help from the Black Knights, because with this wall being up, they can't do pretty much anything. They're just kind of stuck there, and without any hope or cause. They hire these two nameless assassins, nameless mercenaries, to take down some of the occupation forces within the territory, and they actually do a pretty damn good job at it. We get some new mecha battle scenes, and I gotta say the animation is quite a step up from some of the movies. I like it. I like how the battle feels. It really feels very, very fluid. It feels very intricate. It feels very immersed. It's pretty cool, to be honest. Now what kind of caught me off guard is the fact that Ash, as they're infiltrating like this Neo-Britannian base, and like he goes up to the commander, it turns out that it's the biggest trap ever, because it's not a he, it's a she, and like it's actually a girl. And I was just kind of sitting there like, what? Yeah, that girl who was like killed at the beginning of the episode was, yeah, it's Ash wearing a disguise, and it's totally Lelouch vibes, because she does this whole thing with her Geass powers. We don't really know what her ability is, because from what we can tell, like her ability has something to do with hearing, because that's what she's able to do, at least from what I can gather. But it's pretty cool, and apparently this brand new character, Ash, whatever her real name is, I kind of forgot her real name, is related to Lelouch and Suzaku in a way, because her last name is similar to Suzaku, which I guess this is Lelouch's what's the word I'm looking for? Nephew or niece? Lelouch's niece. I guess this is Lelouch's niece, which is a pretty interesting fact. So I'm curious to see if like she inherited some type of Geass power from Lelouch, or if Lelouch was involved in any sort of way in giving her her ability, which is pretty cool. How Lelouch is going to factor into this series whatsoever, if at all, or how some of the original cast members are going to factor in, is beyond me. We really don't know too much, and that's what I'm liking about this series so far, because there's a huge mystery element behind this. There's a lot of things we don't know about these characters, what their motives are, why they do what they have to do. It's pretty interesting, and I gotta say, Rose of the Recaptured has totally captured my anticipation. It's captured my curiosity, and I gotta say, as a big Code Geass fan, I didn't think they could capture the same element, the same enthrall that they had in the original series, but I'm all here for it. I'm really liking what they're doing with this show so far, and the fact that it's like a 12 episode series gets me pretty excited, because I'm curious to see how they're gonna handle this, because doing a series without the main cast members is very, very risky, but I think they're doing a pretty good job towards it. Now, I didn't talk about the story too much because I want to wait and see how it plays out, but that's just like the main components of it. Also, my dog is barking, but yeah, my dog keeps barking. Also, yeah, that's just my thoughts. Anyways, that's just my thoughts on the Code Geass Rose of the Recaptured. If you haven't seen it, if you have seen it, what do you guys think of that about the series? If you don't like it, why don't you like it? What do you think about it? Overall, pretty good. I give it a solid 8 out of 10 for the premiere. Pretty good. Go watch it, and yeah.